guys? So I'm here. Hang on, let's go turn my actual music down so I can hear myself talk. There we go. Hey guys! Welcome back to one of my creative streams. Yeah. I'm going for a lazy day today because this is an impromptu kind of stream. Thursday isn't a regular streaming day. So I thought I'd go chill and I would just, yeah, we're going to be doing some editing today. So anyone who's watched my streams last week, end of last week, then you would have seen me working on one of my birds from uni, and yeah, it's been interesting. Hang on, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit more. Before I get started, I'm just gonna point out, as always, my music is from No Copyright Sounds on YouTube. If you kind of go search No Copyright Sounds, it will come up with a whole plethora of dance-inspired dubstep-style music. It's very cool, and they've got some really good tunes on there. If you want a link directly, if you go onto my YouTube and click on any of my stream videos, so any of the bird editing videos or any of the playthroughs, the link is in there, so you can just click it and it will take you straight to their page. I do recommend following them. They've got some really good tunes on there. So yeah, that's who we're listening to today. It's a load of different artists. So, and I don't have a proper playlist set up, so I can't be like, type in a command and see what I'm playing yet. It will happen, it will come, but I'm not used to this yet. I'm still new. I'm still a newbie. Still a newbie when it comes to the Twitch. So yeah. As I was saying, anyone who watched my streams last week would have been the Friday and Saturday stream where I was editing on Ravepool's PC because mine crapped out. Would have seen me editing one of my bird pictures that I took in uni. It was taken on analog film and everything. I talk about it a lot. I'll probably just give a brief go over when I bring up the bird. We are pretty much done with how I'd want that bird to be printed for a gallery setting. Maybe a little bit of touch up on the shadows. But what I'm gonna start doing today is I was messing about while watching someone else's stream, basically, is what happened. And I was just like, I'm just going to add some colour to this picture, because it influenced. One of the things I was showing is when you were doing toning with mask layers, and I did like pink and blue, so super kawaii colours, and I just thought that actually looks pretty cool. So today I'm going to paint in the bird kawaii colours. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see how it goes. So yeah, let's get the photoshops up. I've got my tablet out. It isn't fully configured yet, so I'm still gonna be like rolling out the drawer every now and then, so I can do a few commands and type in like names, because I've got like a thin little desk at the moment, so I can't fit the keyboard and the tablet on my desk. So rather than put it up to the side and constantly be like, ooh, I've just got it in my drawer, so I can just be like boop boop boop, and hopefully that works. If anyone wants to know what equipment I'm using, I have listed my specs in below in my channel. Basically I'm using a Wacom Pro tablet, so and like CS3 at the moment. I will eventually list my photography gear. That's both my analog and my digital gear, because I do have digital gear. I just don't tend to use it a whole lot. I'm going to be using it more, going into kind of as I do more Twitch, because I don't have the darkroom facilities that I once had access to. So until I get that set up again, I'm gonna be all digital, which is weird. I don't know how I feel about that. So, right, let's bring up the bird. Or not. Or not. Alright, it doesn't want to play. Why don't you want to play? Do you want to bring up, like, the tiniest thing? Alright, hang on. We can fix this. We're smart, intelligent people. We can fix this. Alright. Alright, I want, like, the full CS3 experience. I don't just want the one image. Come on. Alright, so it just wants to give you like that one image. Apparently. This is, just so you know, this is the bird we're working on today. But you're meant to be getting a bit more than that. So let's turn that offset so you can see my glorious face again. Yeah, you don't want to see that anyway. See, this is what happens when, like, I don't want all of that. God damn it! God damn it! I don't know why it's... I don't know why it's, like, separated it out. This is weird. This is, like, hella weird. Okay, so, for now, I'm gonna go with this, I guess. I don't know. Oh, see, if I click... Right, well, let's open that up so at least you can see it a bit bigger. I don't know what's happening today. This is what I get when I do, like, impromptu streams, isn't it? Like, it's just going, you don't stream this time normally. So, why should I be nice to you? Okay, so, yeah, you're gonna get to see me work on the image, but you're not gonna get to see any of the brushes or anything that I've selected for some reason. I'm gonna close Photoshop. Let's quickly, no, I don't want, yeah, I don't want that. Let's quickly delete those, go back into big head mode, and I'm gonna reopen Photoshop. No. Okay, and then see how that goes. Because, you know, maybe it just doesn't want to play today. Which is understandable. It's just like, what are you doing editing photos for? So if anyone wonders why I'm like, what the? It's because I'm trying to get my Photoshop to do what I want it to do. Come on. There we go. Right, I've reloaded it. Let's see. Let's see if I can re-add it. Ooh, get Lazy Nuzumi out of the way. I don't want Lazy Nuzumi. There you go, for anyone who's interested, that's my Lazy Nuzumi settings. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna close the stream, guys. I'm gonna... while I sort this out. So, I will be back in just a moment. I'm gonna, like, fully shut down the stream. So, I'll be back in 5. Good tune. So yeah, I think I've got it sorted. I think I've got it sorted, guys. I don't know what was going on. I had to restart, like, OBS, so... But we're still technically on time. It's only 5 past. I normally have the intro running for 5 minutes, so it's all good. We're safe. We're good. I don't like shutting the stream like that. It makes me just be like, whoa. So yeah, I'm gonna bring up the bird. The bird. Oh, no, first I'm going to do this. If anyone wonders what I'm doing, I'm trying to sort out my Twitch. Because it's not playing. Same as everything today, it's not playing. Okay, right, so Photoshop ahoy. Right, so here we go. We've got my bird. We've got it up. It is a go time. So we'll make this a little bit bigger for you. Boop. Just in case anyone's wondering, just because I don't like full screening any of my images because I work on so many different things at once normally, so it's just a habit that I want to be able to click through things, drag things from like other images and kind of composite them together. So yeah, if you're ever wondering why you're just like, oh hang on, why haven't you full screened it? It's just, that is literally the reason. It's just that. So yeah, like I was saying, pretty much done on a lot of this bird. I don't think there's too much I want to add in. I did start painting in some shadow, but I'm probably going to leave that. That layer wasn't anything anyway. I don't know why it's still in there. Let's get rid of that. So you can see it from the beginning. I'm going to just take everything off quickly. Boom. Okay, so this was the original image. Like I said, the image is a 5x7 piece of sheet film on a large format camera. So anyone who doesn't know what I'm on about with a large format camera, that's the one with the bellows, like the Victorian-esque style cameras. I do actually own one that was made in, or was released in 1907. So it is like an antique now, and unfortunately there's pinprick holes in the bellows, so I can't use it, which makes me super sad. But I used one of the university ones because they had slightly more modern, durable ones than mine. That's all pretty wooden, brass, and leather and things. So yeah, we had that. So first thing I did was flip it, and then we took out all kind of this area, and there's some here, all the little imperfections on the film, we took all that out. We then dodged and burned, so we just changed where we wanted the shadow and light to be on the image. So as you can see, the bird itself we kind of darkened, we lightened this area, and we changed the background a little bit. So that's that. Then technically, then we did the adjustments. So if you're wondering what I'm on about with adjustments, we just altered kind of exposure, your basic levels, and things like that. We then HD'd it, which is done in a couple of layers and masking layers, so you just bring it forward. So the whole image is actually technically HD'd, but I did it in two parts because I wanted the bird to stand out a lot more than the background, because the background became a little bit of an eyesore. It became way too grainy, and the grain started to look digitalized rather than natural. So I just went through and just did the bird and these areas that were in focus anyway. After that, I'll just put my HD back on. I added tone, and again, it's only a very slight difference, but it just takes that harshness and the edge off the black and white photo, just to make it a little bit more pleasing to the eye, a little more kind of easier to look at, because I'm aware that not everyone likes looking at pictures of dead birds. Totally aware of that. So this just makes an image that could be quite unpleasant to some people it's a little bit softer, it's a little bit easier to look at. And then the whole thing, I just copied from the last dodge and burn layer in this folder. So copied it from that and just sharpened it up, just to give it that extra little kind of the extra little it's absolutely minuscule, the amount of sharpening, but it does make a difference because this image has the potential to be blown up to huge, I'm talking feet by feet proportions. So if I ever want to display it in a gallery, which you never know, one day it might happen, that is ready for it. So I don't think I'm going to add anything else. I really like how it's looking, especially compared to what it did look like when I first put it up here. Like, these are all film photos, they're all high resolution scans of my actual film images, which after being in storage I'm pretty sure are warped and horrible and unusable now. So anyone out there who's working on analog, I strongly recommend that if you can invest in a scanner and back up your files digitally, do it. Not only does it make it better for reproduction if you ever want to produce prints of it, it also means that should anything happen to your film, to your master kind of copies, that you haven't lost your image forever, because there's nothing more heartbreaking than looking at a film and realizing that image that you loved has warped, has got watermarks and stains all over it to the point that you can't kind of save it, or there's been an accident and you've gotten chems on it. Heartbreaking. Totally heartbreaking. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take out that shadowing layer quickly, because I don't want it now. And I'm going to do the thing that petrifies everyone. And I'm going to merge my layers. This always feels like a fatal last step. So you can literally see it going, this is what it did look like, this is what it looks like now. I'm also going to make a new save file for it, so save as kawaii bird test. I have no idea why I'm all on capitals. If anyone's wondering why I'm using TIFFs even, two reasons. One, you can still hold a large amount of data in a TIFF that you would lose in a JPEG. So it's close to the PSD, but it's viewable if you're scrolling through. So for example, if I bring my folder over quickly, it's probably a bad example because half of them haven't loaded, but like all these are TIFFs, so I can go through, I can view them. You can see where I've had a few errors in my lighting because everything is so unpredictable when you're using large format. But yeah, you can see the TIFFs. You can just scroll through and be like, oh, okay, so it's that file I need. Or, oh, okay, I want to work on this today because that looks pretty cool. And the other reason is because it was just kind of drilled into my brain at uni. And because of that, I just kind of went with it. So yeah, let's do that again so I can see if anyone is in chat. Looks like I'm on my lonesome at the moment, but that's fine. I'm sure if anyone comes in, they're gonna be like, "Why? Who the hell is she talking to? Like, what on earth?" And the reason I just talk through my streams, A, I want to talk to someone who obviously knows who they're talking about, moi, and two, because I upload all these up onto YouTube as like tutorial style videos, so it helps just if I'm talking. It makes it a bit more interesting. Unless you find my voice particularly unpleasant, at which point, sorry guys. So, I'm gonna rename, no I'm not apparently, gonna rename that layer. So this is gonna be base. And then I'm going to dupe that layer. So this next layer is going to be, so I'm going to work in predominantly two main mask layers. So it's going to be mask And then again, I just want to duplicate that. And it's going to be mask blue. Now, for anyone who didn't catch me making mask layers last time, really simple. You get your mask layer and you click this little button right down here, add layer mask. Just click that. Boom. Boom. And then you want to fill your last mask layer. You don't want to fill your image. Never fill your image. Like, it doesn't work. You're just like, why isn't it working? You want to fill your mask layer. So the reason I've picked pink and blue, because I kind of classically associated kawaii colours. I might add like a little yellow kind of gold layer in as well, just for highlights later, but right now focusing on my predominant colours. And I want them to be really light. Like, I want this to be subtle still. I don't want it to stand out, because otherwise I feel that if it's too bright it's going to totally wreck my image. So I want really subtle. Like I said, you want to make sure you clicked on that. Opacity 50. Why have you changed? Oh, okay. The other thing you don't want to do is what I just did. And is my setup. What? Why are you in that? Alright. You don't really want it in CMYK, you want it in RGB mode. Because otherwise you're not going to get any colour. And I'm just going to get layers of grey, and that's not what I want. Why have you changed? You were set up correct, are you? Right, hang on. Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna do that apparently. I'm gonna quickly undo these masks. Yeah, okay, so I'm in RGB there. Alright, let's flatten the image then. That might be a little bit better. Sometimes this does that, and I don't know why. It's a nightmare. So I'm just gonna flatten the image instead. And that shouldn't have changed it. So if I have my mask layer quickly as a test, I want to duplicate that and just go through that. Why are you playing with me? Why are you playing with me? This is just the day for Photoshop play up apparently. You've got no reason to be doing that. Alright. Okay. We're gonna do this the hard way apparently. Yeah, okay. We're gonna be doing this the hard way. So I need to take another layer of that, and we'll call this mask layer pink, because like I was saying, we want this to be super adorable kawaii colours. And we then need to dupe that again, and to make our blue layer. Dupe layer. Blue. And these will be our mask layers, so I'm also going to make a folder for these because it's nice to keep your work tidy. That's layers. Okay. So now, logically, I should be able to... Admittedly, now I can't see which one's my pink and which one's my blue. That was my pink. Let's find us a nice pink. I should logically just be able to... And again! Is it because I got... It shouldn't be my tail on my HD mask. Yeah, that's not what you want to do. At least that shows you that if you just click on your image with colour, this is what's going to happen. It looks hideous. But I still can't work out why I'm not getting my pink. Alright, this is going to be... I'm going to have to look this up. Bear with me, guys. This has stumped me. Not something I've come across yet. See, that's the thing. I've been doing this for almost a decade, I suppose. I've been doing photography. And you still get stuff like this crop up on you. Oh, that's with printing. Yeah, that's the thing. If you ever want to print, you want the CMYK. I know that. Like, I've dealt with it in that capacity. But I don't know why it keeps changing on me. Okay, I technically do know a way around this, even though it's cheating. And I don't like cheating. Because the person God, to be a cliche, you only ever cheat yourself if you cheat. But for the sake of brevity, I'm going to close this. I'm not going to save anything. And then I'm going to open the base I made with my kawaii colours already on it. Because then all I'm going to do is I will transfer over all the layers I made later on. So, waiting for stuff to load is just the bane of Photoshop existence, I swear. While it's doing that, I'm going to go into big head mode. Oh, no. It might want to work. No, I'm going to go into big head mode while it does that, because no one wants to watch a loading bar. It's boring. Boring. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happening with it suddenly converting my image. It's in RGB, but as soon as I try and add that second mask layer, it's just like, nope. So, I don't know. I will, behind that, I will open my HD bird as well. So, this is going to be a perfect example of why I save stuff, like, randomly. You will see me save things, and I'll just be like, I'm going to save that, I'm going to save that for later, and you're just going to be like, why? Why are you saving it? And this is exactly the reason. So, here we go. On Saturday, I was just showing the kind of I've forgotten the word. The layers. That's what I was going for. I was showing how you could do tone. Let me get rid of those quickly. So there we go. Oh, I was having a brain moment apparently. That's why. I was trying to fill totally the wrong thing. So here's one I did earlier, loopy style, and I'm gonna quickly change. Give me my big brush, and I'm gonna paint out. What do I paint in? Blues, right? My opacity seems really low. Again, it's still in. I've always been messing with my settings. Photoshop, what are you doing? It's disgraceful. Okay, so I want black and white for this because I've already got my colours set in. So let's just quickly undo my layers because get all these little bits out of there because I want to be a lot more specific with how I do this. A lot more specific. There we go. Okay. So, as I'm only focusing on the bird, I don't need to worry about the backdrop too much. I am going to be zoomed in a lot for this though. I'm going to need a super tiny brush. And then all I'm going to do is I don't want it too high, so I'm going to change it to 9. Let's go for a 7% opacity. I want to be zoomed in more than that. So this is a very rough bird. This isn't like the finished HD bird that we were working on earlier just because my colour palette hates me. And then you just pick quills and start painting them in. Like I said, I haven't really done this before. This is the idea struck me and I thought I'd give it a go. So this first one is going to be when I get so it is just ever so slightly blue, and if you go over it a little bit that's not so bad because we can just, you know, sharpen this up later. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more though. And I might turn that opacity up. It's a little bit too low, so let's go with 10. Gonna undo what I just did. Ooh. So like I've gone over it a little bit there, but I can easily go back in later and just pick that up with the eraser tool. Or more to the point, just paint it in with like the black. Probably shouldn't lean forward, you won't be able to see me at all on camera. The good thing with the opacity is you can just keep layering in that colour. So if you're just like, that's too low, you can just keep putting it on in there. And I'm only going to be doing the highlights on the quills, just so you get like that pop, but you still get that depth as well with the bird. I don't want it all, like I don't want my shadows all painted blue, because it comes out very similar tonal blue. Ow. So I don't want that. I'm going to raise my chair a sec. There we go. That way I can lean forward and it doesn't matter. Like, don't be afraid to take your time over something. Don't think that you should be quicker at it, or like, I totally get wanting to get something done, but if you try and rush, you're just gonna end up kind of having to go back and redo things, and that's not what you want at the end of the day. So all I'm doing is taking out any bits that have gone too much. And I mean, you're gonna want a soft brush for this. So you're just swapping backwards and forwards between the black and the white to paint in and erase areas for colour. I want that a little bit coloured in. A little bit more. Gives the quill that little bit of depth. Okay, I'm going to take out this bit here though. And yeah, just go in, work bit by bit. You can always go back and re-go over bits or lighten bits. At the moment I'm just laying in the rough guides.
Choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake?
you can already see like how much just that blue stands out. So when we get the pinks in there as well, these lovely kind of contrasty colours. Just gonna make that bird just be like, whoa. Whoa, what's that bird? What's that bird on? So this is where I've got to be careful because I don't want to get any of these or these, and I don't want to interrupt or interfere with that quill because this quill ends kind of here. So I just want to go to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start there. And this is only going to be a super light layer on this bit. Okay, so we do have some shadow here, and I will have some pink overplay, so I'm going to leave a little bit of gap. And this is where, because the image is so grainy, I can be a little bit creative with how I'm painting in. It's possibly a little bit too strong. It always looks so much darker, so I'm gonna swap back to my black and just give it a quick, just lighten it up. So for anyone who's just joined us and is wondering what on earth is she doing, I am adding some unusual colours. I'm getting a bit experimental to one of my images from a while ago from university. It was originally taken on a large format camera, so it's on film, and it's a high resolution scan. So I've like cleaned it up and everything. The bird did originally, I will quickly show you. Ooh. This was the original scan. So right now I'm just cleaning it up, and then I'm going to bring over the HD effects from the other image we worked on and just layer it all together. So at the moment I'm just adding a bit of colour just to the bird, just to make it stand out a bit. And just because I felt like getting a bit crazy today. I need some more colour in here. Is only rough. I mean, this image is never going to be, with the colours, it's never going to be printed on that large scale that I'm going to be printing the other image on. Even though it does have the capacity to be printed like literally kind of 5 by 7 foot, so. I think that's our first quill done. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to layer the blue in there first, and then going to go back with the pink. So I'm not going to do it like every other quill, I'm just going to be very selective. Actually no, I'm going to do a pink one quickly just to see what the contrast is like, because then I'll know where I want to lay everything. So that's where that pink one starts. You want to be fairly zoomed in for this, but I'm just quickly mapping out which one needs to be pink, so I know. I mean, to be honest, logically I could just be like, oh, I'm just going to do it super light. I'm going to layer a really intense colour in first, because I can always lighten it later by going over it with that black brush again. Kind kind of starts here, so let's layer that in. The pink's really subtle, so I'm probably going to use pink for the main and just do the highlights in the blue. Let's see how it goes. Times the end of that. Well, I think that is the end. I think the one above it is what goes to here, so it's going to be done in the blue, I think. I do need some separation, otherwise it's just going to look like a big mass of pink, and I don't want that. So, got that one there. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to just use the blue as the highlight because the pink just goes better. I want this bird to stand out, but I don't want it to look totally out of place. More. Again, I'm just going to add it in layers. It takes longer, but you don't want to ruin your image. So this one goes down, goes under. This is a totally experimental style. For me, this isn't what I normally do, so it is just me playing a little bit. I just wanted to see where I could take my work. So, because I think you should always try and push your limits. Because that's how you grow. Let's get the rest of this lined in quickly. these quills just don't seem to... one arc one there that doesn't seem to come out until here. Might do odd ones like that in a gold kind of colour or leave them white, I'm not sure yet. Anything you've done and just thought, oh, I didn't want to do that, just swap your colour back over to white. Just take it straight out. And it happens. Follow the natural shape of the quill. Yeah, technically this connects up to this, but because it goes into shadow. And this is a lower one. I'm still going to do this one pink. Because I'm not doing that, it's every other one is a different colour. I'm literally just picking and choosing. Birds' feathers aren't uniform, so there's no reason why these colours have to be. And just keep scrolling out, checking your work, seeing how you like it, seeing if there's anything you want to change, that kind of thing. Turn these down a little bit. Ooh, too much. Cool, there we go. I've painted colour onto a couple of images before. It's not something I do a lot of, just like I said, because predominantly I work in analogue, I work in film photography. But I've done it for a couple of images, just as like favours and things. My dad brought home a really beautiful old square image, so the little 5x5 images of my granny, my gran and my granddad on their wedding day, and it had some scratches, and it was a well loved photo, and I did that. I took it, I re-photographed it as it were, and touched up, took all the little defects out of it like I did with this image, and then I coloured my nan and my granddad in on the image. That's way too bright. Just to make them stand out. And I gave my nan like this gorgeous kind of yellow dress, because she remembers very vividly that she was wearing this yellow dress on her wedding day. It was a gorgeous image. I love doing things like that. I like giving things a new lease of life. Just because it's, I don't know, it's nice to see. It's just nice to see images like that. Kind of, images tell stories at the end of the day. Like, all pictures tell a story of something. It may be a story of a crazy drunken night out that you would rather people forget, but it's still a story. And when you get lovely old images like that one, like, to be able to then bring that story to life is just, like, it's just a really beautiful thing to do. This is where it's going to start getting awkward, because trying to work out where this ends and the background begins is, so I'm going to very lightly feather this instead of being the super sharp quill points that I've been trying to do on the other ones. No, I don't really have anything coming down over it, so I can continue that line thinking about it. It'll be interesting. Not sure how much I like that. So for this, I'm going to quickly just up the opacity to something a bit stronger. So I really, really want to dull that down. It's far too bright. Not the size. I just want that hint of colour on it. I don't want it to be like, whoa, in your face. And I'm going to use a slightly larger brush for this end, so I get that feathery effect. Still chunky though. Graduation. See, any blue I do should logically, not that everything else has worked on Photoshop today, it's one of the days. Yeah, the blue goes over the pink, so when I do these in blue, it will go over the pink and just kind of go in like that. So that's fine. Okay. So yeah, the pink is our base, definitely, and then we're just going to go in and highlight with that blue. Because the blue draws the eye a little bit more than that pink. belong to that quill that you can just see in there, that bit there. So I'm going to leave that bit for now. It's going to be a blue bit. Yeah, so that bit belongs to that. That's going to be a blue bit as well. Okay, right. That tail's going to be a nightmare. I hadn't even thought about that tail when I started this. You can use the smudge tool. I don't think the blur tool works so well on this. I haven't really tried it. But like I know the smudge tool has worked in the past. Yeah, so I can just properly work at getting those colours exactly where I want them if I need to. I'm using it at super high level, which isn't needed, but I will want to soften this though, so hopefully I can get that blur tool working. Yeah, that blurs it a little bit. Because although the image is super grainy, we still want our that brush is too hard. I love the smudge tool. It's like one of my favourite tools because you can just do so much with it. And you can use it to just make those little adjustments. Use it to spread out your colours. Like that. Which actually was better than I thought it would be. The blur tool is a difficult one, just because where we're using mask layers, it's kind of just, it's not blurring the edges, because the edges don't exist, technically, because we're bringing it through. It's like trying to smudge something, smudge a colour that's behind a piece of paper. It just, you can't do it, so I can't smudge it into the dark areas, because the piece of paper is covering them, but I can smudge it and make the colour smoother, or blur it, sorry, and make the colour smoother in the actual areas that I have coloured in. Yeah, I mean, I'll take the blue out quickly. It's looking interesting, I'll give it that. Right, I am going to go to big head mode quickly. I'm going to go for a quick break, mainly because I drank way too much tea this morning. So I will boost the tunes up and I'll be back in a few minutes. If you need to go get anything, guys, snacks, drinks, I don't know how many people in the UK are joining me, lunch maybe, then now is a good time to do it. It will just be a couple of minutes, so grab something quick. Make sure you stretch your legs. We are back, and I have a friend with me right now. So you will get to see Cat Butt for a little bit. This is Gadget. She's my problem child, and is demanding as hell right now. Wouldn't come near me all last night or all this morning. Nope. Chooses when I'm streaming to be like, I'm your friend now. So this has turned into a cat stream, apparently. Hello. Yes, hello. So yeah. If you're gonna be up here, at least say hi. So yeah, this is Gadget. And she is a nightmare. But is purring like crazy. Is an adorable nightmare. Totally adorable nightmare. But nightmare nonetheless. Okay, if you're gonna sit on my lap, settle down, Gadget, or you're gonna have to get off because I gotta work. I got stuffs to do. And generally you don't help with the stuffs. I'm just saying. I'm getting cat nuzzles. Alright, fine, let's do it your way. It's not like I was ever gonna win that anyway. Do not eat the pen. Don't do it. Okay. Cats. Hello, don't eat the pen. Don't eat it. I'm not allowed the pen. Mummy's working. So yeah, it's now turned into a cat stream, apparently. Cat with very sharp claws stream. Thanks for that. It's just what I always wanted, Gadget. Come on, you need to get down, sweetie. You said hello to everyone. Now come on. Unhand me, you fiend. There we go. There we go. Good girl. Right, so there you go, cat stream for like 5 minutes. April's gonna kill me, the fact that I let her up. I'm gonna be in so much trouble. But she's adorable. Right, I'm gonna add a few of these blues in. Boop. Oh, wait, am I on the wrong layer? Gadget, did you walk over my thing while I was out the room? Damn cats. Okay, that's way too solid. Am I on the wrong? That's too fluffy. That's too solid and too hard. Yeah. Cats walking over stuff. Just what you want. Oh, that's a bit better. I want something that's a bit bigger though. Why is my opacity so high on that one? Way too high. Oop. That's correct. Could go back to this. That's fine. Oh, there we go. Don't know what was playing up there, but was doing. Okay. So, I do believe that because of the mask layer underneath, okay. Why are you so high? Pasta should not be that high. I should just not take breaks. Every time I take a break, like, something seems to change. So you're meant to be on black and white. So the pink paint's in fine. Yeah, okay. So I can't paint in the blue without having the pink painted in first, which is going to cause issues. Kind of, I guess. I don't know actually. Because in theory it means I don't have to paint them all in. I can just do an overall layer and then just paint my blues in. Be like, boom. Paint those blues in. Put some highlights of blue. And paint that blue in over the pink. Yeah, so you can see where the pink hasn't highlighted. Okay, right. Now I figured out what that issue was. I can go back to doing what I was doing and I can show you. Undo all this crazy shenanigans quickly. So I seemingly, like, I can't paint in. Oh, sure, now you want to work. Okay, it was just having a funny 5 minutes. Don't know. So I'm gonna paint in some of my blues now. Now that I can. Okay, I'm gonna go for a new tack quickly. I'm gonna quickly just undo all of that. Go to to my dodge and burn. Copy the layer in, because I'm having real issues with this today. I don't mind what it's called right now, it's a test. Well, it technically does need to live under those. Okay, so once again, mask layer. I'm gonna dye it that weird pink colour that I like. Make this super cute kawaii pink. No, see? Why? Why? Screw that 1% opacity right now. Whoa, paint all that in. Oh, that highlights it quite nicely on the HD side of things. Right, I need to fill that layer with black. Nope, didn't want to do that. Now, gonna go to the white. Yeah, okay. Let's try this. I'm intrigued. I want to know if it works. I want to know how well it works anyway. Whoa, I don't want 100%. 10%? Yeah, 10%. I don't know how I feel about this. This could go horribly wrong. It probably will. Not to be overly pessimistic or anything. I just been having a lot of bad luck with Photoshop today. Huh. The issue doesn't seem to be Photoshop, the issue seems to be my Wacom pen. Because this is working beautifully with the mouse. Interesting. So if I go back to that, yeah, I can just colour straight in. Okay, so the issue is my Wacom. I have to have a play with that later. There we go. Yep, I actually want that layer, that's what I'm trying to... Okay, let's cover up my hand. Maybe my body heat's interfering. Alright. Can I draw in... That's what happens when I throw myself off schedule. There we go. I would like to say issue resolved, but I kind of don't think it is. I'm having just one of those days, yeah! Alright, so I'm not going to do the cheaty easy way, because honestly I'm just going to end up having to do more work in the long run. So... I want this one. Yeah. I definitely want a smaller brush. I'm going to delete that layer quickly because that just keeps causing me issues. I want the blue layer. Crikey, that was an awful lot of drama. Why isn't that bit filling in though? There's something wrong with the image. That's why. So somewhere on this, it's not purely colour. Which unfortunately, unless I know what the issue is, I can't really fix. Okay. It's gonna cause issues. Alright. Alright. I was hoping there wouldn't be any imperfections in my little bird, but apparently I am not so lucky. It doesn't tend to notice if I use the pink, so that might have to be pink to get around that, so I'm not quite sure what's happened, if I'm honest. So I'm gonna take out that blue quickly. Blue. Any blue out of there. Yeah, it doesn't show on the pink, so I'm guessing it's an imperfection on my blue layer that's caused it. But I don't mind it being pink, to be honest. It doesn't have to be blue, that quill. Not by a long shot. A couple of pink quills isn't going to hurt the image. Yeah, the imperfection isn't there on the pink. So it's an imperfection with the blue. Nope. How far does it go? What way is that one? Because I know I've got some blue up here. Change the colour slightly. I still want that nice bright blue. So I'm going to change colours to that. I'm going to copy that selection quickly. And cancel that. As I didn't know what the exact blue was, I'm having to improvise a little bit. Painting colour on this level. Oop, on a big brush. Actually a huge brush, because I'm going to repaint the entire canvas colour. Just to get out any of those imperfections. And it's pretty similar to the colour that I picked. It's a good example of why you have to take notes, guys, because otherwise you just end up forgetting what you're doing. So, that, in theory, should have taken away that glitch. Awesome. It did. It's exactly what I want. Alright, back to my layers and back to my black and white. After that, God, that debacle. Actually, no, I want to take that colour out quickly, so... I don't want to brush that big though. Wrong colour. So I want to take the pink out that's underneath. So, quickly take that pink out. There we go. Get my opacity back down to 10. And in theory, I can get back to actually doing this. I want to keep like the shadow in here. I will probably add a little layer of blue later, but like a darker blue, but not right now. I want to keep that shadow. Keep that shadow going. Little touches of it up here. And then it comes out all the way up to here. So I'm going to start at this and I'll work my way back. Because it's easier, to be honest. Also going to be blue. So this one and this one meet in the point, they're blues. So actually that works out okay. And again, just don't be worried about I'm being a bit rough with this, just because I know I can go back and I can give it a bit of a clean up later. It's just to lay down the base colour that I want. And I mean, I will be taking out some of this blue because I will have some pinks that are overlaying it. So I will need to take the blue out at some point. So like this one, for example, is going to be blue. So I'll add that blue in because the blue overlays the pink. At the moment this is just for rough guidance, so I know where I want each of my quills to be, what colours are where. It's a bit bigger. Sometimes you just really need to zoom out and look back at your work. You can decide what thickness you want things that you just won't be able to see when you zoom in. I'm still not overly happy with this feather. Just something about it that bugs me. Right, so this one also has to be blue, and I've got this big area here. I'm umming and ahhing. I'm gonna have a play quickly. Because I don't know if I want to dupe that layer. But I can't. HD. I'm just gonna have a quick play again. Like I said, this whole process right now is totally experimental for me. I haven't done it before. Put it on top of that so the HD still comes through. Oh. To go in between those two layers, there we go. So if I mask layer this, get this going with like a gold colour, like a goldy yellow. A bit brighter than that. Let's go with that. I'm gonna have a little bit of an experiment. Didn't mean to do that. At least technically I know my experiment's gonna work. Yeah, and I can add in a little bit of gold. I need a big brush though. You can add in some gold touches for the feathers of what's left on the quills. I don't know how it's going to look. I can always take it out later. I can just delete the entire layer. I don't know if it's going to stand out. It looks a bit murky, so that's probably not the right colour. So I need a lighter kind of yellow. Again, that makes it kind of washed out. I do need more of that gold kind of colour, but don't know about that layer at the moment. I'll have a play with that later. Right now I'm going to go back to my blues. For this. Okay. Let's quickly colour that back in. I don't want all that. Actually, how's it look with the yellow overpowers it. Okay. Okay. Well, we know now. We know that that's not really gonna work. I've got to figure out what I'm gonna do with these. So, first up I'm gonna clean these lines up a little bit. While I've got the opacity up. Just clean them up, make them look nice and sharp. Because you want them looking sharp. I don't know how much you can hear of my background noise, but if you can hear my next door neighbour drumming, I really apologise. I'm starting to wonder if he teaches classes though, because he always seems to play the same thing, and in the like 3 years that I've heard him drumming, he doesn't seem to have changed. So he hasn't got any better, he hasn't got any worse. So I'm just wondering if maybe he teaches and he's just like teaching the same kind of thing to different people, because it's always the same drum beat that he's doing and it's really weird. I mean, he's not bad by any means. He's not a bad drummer. It's just the fact that it's always the same thing. It's just always really confused me. Like, why would you always just like drum the same thing over and over again? Okay, so the blue does look pretty good. I'm going to go back to doing the pink, just because the blue's going to go over the pink for everything anyway. So it makes sense. No, I'm going to fill in that with blue. It's going to bug me otherwise. It makes sense to have the pink in there, but I'm going to quickly do this with my blue. Ooh. Helps if I'm on the right brush. Again, if anyone's curious about what I'm listening to, it's a YouTube channel called No Copyright Sounds. If you're ever on my YouTube, like rewatching these streams, then it's linked in the description. If not, literally go in, type No Copyright Sounds, and they do all kinds of dance and dubstep and things like that, and house and things. It's all kind of dancey music. And it's all, as the name would imply, copyright free, which means if you want to use it on your streams or in your videos, it's really good. As I don't have a playlist built up yet. And yeah guys, like if you're doing this, don't be afraid to just constantly go back and forward, changing your brush size, changing your opacity, because that's how you're going to get those lovely crisp edges on any of your work. So yeah, you can see like if I do this, the blue will go over the pink, so that's why I need to get my pink laid in first. So okay, this is a good start. It's starting to look interesting. It's definitely standing out. I'm gonna need some more blues in here, because these aren't standing out as much as I'd hoped, but then I can still... And you can like draw little extra bits in with the paint tool as well. So if you're just like, oh, but there's not a quill there, you can add a little bit in. You've creative license, people. At the end of the day, it's your work. You can do what you want with it. So it makes that quill just stand out a little bit more. So this may end up being blue anyway. I haven't decided if I want to make it blue or pink. I'm gonna try it with the yellow. One, I'm gonna take the yellow out of that. Just get rid of that yellow. I'm gonna try adding the odd yellow. I know you're thinking, whoa, what are you doing with that brush? Because I could do that. That makes those colours really pop. That's not what you want to do, just so everyone's aware. I can just quickly... Whoop. Why'd you take me off the layer? There we go. What? There we go. Ah, there we go. That's a bit better. I'm gonna quickly add in some very, very small but quite bright like yellowy quills and just see how that goes. Because I know it doesn't work on the feathers, but it doesn't mean it's not gonna work like somewhere else. So wherever I've got a little quill that's like in between some colour. Oh, so I've got like a little quill up here, so that'll be perfect. Let's do that one. Ugh. Ooh, my opacity does not want to be 100%. 100% opacity is just evil. Too big a brush. I really need to get this set up properly. Go for a 3. I want really like defined point on this because it does go just into there. Okay, the yellow is possibly a bit too bright, but I can change that. That's fine. To be honest, I can change that by just doing a colour overlay. That should work. Yeah, it will work. So I can just quickly drop in and just be like, that's too bright. I want more of an orangey yellow anyway. I want that more goldy tone. It's more peachy. So that's still bright, but it's not as bright. You see a lot of difference, so let's get rid of that. Do it the old-fashioned way. You don't overly see it right now because I've got the masking layer on. Get a nice big brush. It's going to be easier with a bigger brush. You just want to make sure it's all in there. Again, you're not going to see it. You have to keep an eye on this layer down here to see if you've missed anything. Which I look good right now. That's kind of muted it a little bit. It's made it a little bit more pleasing. It's still not great. Let's go for a 4 brush. Lighten up some of these areas. Ooh. So I'm going to go back in, I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to see how it looks. See, I've got a bit of a mistake up in there, so I'm just going to take that out. Because this layer is lower than my pinks and my blues, it means I can just take things out and I can be a bit rough with it. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. It's just going to be the odd streak of gold, so that's not so bad. I quite like that. It's just bright, happy colours. I do not want 97% opacity. Ever. 8% for this. I don't want it too bright. So I might make this gold, because then it will like super stand out. And there's a lot of area to this particular quill. Ooh. I will go back and just clean up like in here. I don't want those lines, so I will go back and clean those up. Just want to get the majority of the colour down just to see how it looks. The other colours over the top, it'll just, that little highlight again just stands out. And if I decide I don't want it that colour, I will just change the background colour entirely. I could change it to a green or a purple, like nice lilac-y purple might be quite nice, or a hot pink. Hot pink might be a bit too much. Just a bit, but... This does actually go up into here. I don't want to highlight our shadows too much with colour though, because... Right, I'm going to take out some of that colour now. So I'm going to up my opacity, because I'm removing colour. And I mean, if I need to, I can go in with the smudge tool later as well and just smooth things out. So I'll probably do that here. Just get my smudge tool and just smudge it out to soften it a bit. And then I'll go over a brush in a minute and just reduce the opacity right down on it, because I don't want it that bright. So there we go. So let's reduce the opacity. Just helps blend it into the image a bit. Again, I'm just gonna smudge some of this colour about. Just try and get an evener tone. It helps with the gradients as well, like the highlight gradients. Yeah, it's one of those tools. I love using it. It's so infrequently used, I think. I think you can get a really nice effect, especially with like glows and things. If you want to give something a little bit of a glow, it's a super good tool for that. Same with everything, you've just got to be gentle with it, and you've just got to use it sparingly and play and find out, you know, where your limits are with it. So yeah, there we go. We've got that little bit of a highlight on there. Okay, yeah, no, I'm quite liking this. This is, this isn't that bad. So. I'm gonna lower the opacity slightly on this. Again, I'm gonna want a big brush. It's a big area, and I'm gonna take that much colour out of it. Just enough. Why? That. Just enough. So you got those hints of those colours, rather than it just be like boom, right there in your face. And I will need to clean that up as well at some point, but not right now. We're doing good right now. Like I said, this is going to take a very long time, guys. I'm probably going to be working on this for probably another 2 hours today, and then I'll be continuing it on Saturday. Because tomorrow is Fright Night, which is horror games, yay! Because who doesn't love a healthy dose of jump scares in their life? although I'm not sure there's anything healthy about these jump scares. Okay, so looking at this closely, these go underneath these quills, so I can actually put that blue in over the top. I use a slightly lower opacity just because I'm almost fine lining this. And then there'll be some pink underneath, so you'll get that layer effect. Ooh. There we go. I'm still... Ooh. Helps when I don't press the wrong button. There we go. I'm still not 100% about this yellow. But I can take it out and change it if I need to. And I still don't know what I'm going to do about this big ass quill here. But we'll get to that. It's a as and when job. I've got this one here. I don't know what colour I want that one to be yet, so I'm going to go up here. I'm doing this a bit sporadically, I realise that. Just because I don't fully know what colours I want everything to be. So I'm going to move on to these, because these should be quite fun to highlight. And with these, because they're so small, I don't need a lot of colour on them. They're quite bright. Because they're already naturally highlighted by the light that was in the room. Probably going to want a smaller brush for this, actually. Yeah, see, I'm not going to want them too highlighted. And these little ones are where I'm going to move on to like a 3 brush as well. And I can just add little flecks of colour in. Like I said, if you just keep going over one area, you'll just layer those colours on top, so you can get some really nice gradients with this, should you choose to. At the moment, I'm still just kind of putting colour where I want it, so I will eventually get to doing that, but not quite yet. So I'm going to want this one to go over to like here. This one that's underneath is going to be pink. Okay, I'm not too keen on that. I'm going to take it off quickly. Just reduce it a bit. It's because I wasn't happy with the shape. So it looks a bit more natural. Okay. Let's get this on quickly. Yeah, let's have some birds. Goes with what I'm doing, I suppose. this actually comes from here. I will darken this later. This one I'll either do pink or gold over the top, just because you've got some contrast. Juxtaposition is your friend. If anyone's just tuning in and just being like, okay, it just looks like she's sporadically adding colour to things, that is essentially what I'm doing right now. It's probably not the best way to work, but it's working for me so far. And yeah, so you just want the little highlights in this area. And that actually comes from down here. So I can add a little bit of blue. Not a lot, because it's shadow, so you don't want it to be like, oh Christ, that's blue. Just a little bit of blue, just to show where the quill came from. And so my objective with this piece is I don't want it to just stand out and just be like, oh my god, that's a big ugly mess of colour. I want it to still be subtle enough that it doesn't feel totally out of place within the image. That's why I'm not sure about these these gold parts here, which you can't see because my mouse cursor is so small. But yeah, the gold parts, I'm not sure about those yet. So I'm going to work on some pink, and I'm just constantly like swapping through the colours just so I'm not layering too much colour in like one place, because I don't want that. I don't want too much colour in one place. So in a minute I might go through and just lighten all of these, just because I'm liking the effect I'm getting on this a lot more. Just that super subtle feel to it. Helps if I'm colouring in with the white.
Too soon to act on it, can we ever be?
I'm just gonna subtly around the little area there because I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's a continuation of that quill. Sometimes it's just difficult to see when you're working on an area so close up. Being able to turn around and go, oh, okay, no, that actually doesn't belong to that is really hard. And again, later on, I'll probably go through and just smudge it around a little bit. I'm gonna go in and lighten this in a bit. Not right now though. Oh no, this is pink. I don't want the pink in there. Pink in that one though. So currently, for anyone who's just tuning in, I am colouring onto a black and white analog image that I took, that we've already gone through and enhanced in another video, in another stream. Yeah, that we've already gone in and we've gone in and enhanced it in another stream. And I'm just adding some colour, just real subtly, I hope. This is very experimental. It's not something I've done with any of my images that I've taken on my film camera. So this is a bit like, ooh. But at the end of the day, one of the really nice things about digital is you can just delete it and start again. There's definitely a bonus with digital. I always struggled with that with analog, otherwise you have to reprint your whole image from scratch, and my god, that was a nightmare. So blue in for this one. Right now I'm just trying to show like where the quills are coming from. you're gonna get super dark areas. So this is gonna be pink. And then I'm gonna have to find a way to like highlight. Well, actually, if I just keep that quill like a darker pink, if I add a few more layers to the opacity, because it's in the shadow anyway, then you'll be able to see that it goes over there. It adds a bit of sharpness. So yeah, you can tell the quill goes over, so it's not so bad. This darkness needs some colour in it. I'm not wanting to colour the whole thing, but I'm definitely just wanting to get some definition in there. There's a cat that's just hiding in the tiny hole in our shelving unit at the bottom. And I need to make sure she's not destroying anything, because she will. She will. So yeah, these on top definitely need to stand out more. So okay, I'm gonna do something that's a bit bold, bit scary, but like I said, you can just delete it. If you're not happy with it, you can just delete what you've done. So I'm gonna lighten up these, my pinks on these, so they're not as standy outy. Because the pink is like the base colour I was going for, so I don't really want it to stand out as much as the got a bit overzealous there. As much as the highlight colours like the blues and the golds. That's better. It doesn't look so bad. Headphone keeps trying to fall out of my ear. And I'll probably quickly do that with the blues as well. Just a little bit. Just a touch, because I don't want this to be a super like boom in your face image. I want this to be subtle colours. That's why I'm literally just dulling down on opacity 4. So you'll barely even notice it. But I want it to be closer to kind of the colours I've got up here. And that way when I layer on top of like these quills on top, it will just pop that much more. I love that word, pop. Ooh, I'm getting hungry apparently. My stomach's going. And same with this, I don't think I want it that bright, so I'm just gonna tone down my opacity. It's meant to be a nice natural feeling image. I don't want this to look like pop art or anything like that, so yeah, that's better. It looks a bit more natural. It doesn't look so like whoa and in your face. Which, like I said, not the objective here. Gonna add a couple of gold quills in there. So not on that size brush holder. Like a little 6. These are just like, technically that I imagine would be the same quill. go. I'm starting to like that gold more and more. Just bringing that colour forward, making it pop. And that's what I want. I want this image to pop. I'm liking this. This is going alright right now. I'm going to try a few of these. I want to see how this technique is going to work on these quills. So at the moment, like, I've got to think about it. I've got to finalise where I want my colours, and where this technique's going to work, and where I may need to alter it slightly. So it is just rough, it's just practicing. I haven't really done this before on this kind of image. It's all experimental. Okay, that's not so bad. I do need to clean it up. That's not so bad. Let's clean it up a little bit. So I'm not going past you. I technically could clean it up with a smudge tool, which I have done in places, but I'm just trying to do this roughly right now, so. Oh, that looks gorgeous on the highlights. Like that gold really stands out and really pops on the highlights. It's just on the shadows, it looks a bit kind of on the shadows. Some pinks in here. And like, I'm just focusing on the main quill, so this I can determine where it belongs later, like which set of quills it belongs to. Because we get so many areas that overlap, and I don't exactly have the bird here anymore for reference, so. Well, I was so sad when I finally had to part ways. I know it sounds like totally weird, feeling sad that I have to part ways with a dead bird, but I mean, I photographed these birds several times over the course of 2 years, both in this environment and in like a studio environment. And so you end up like getting used to working with them and things like that. You just end up, like, people get attached to inanimate objects all the time emotionally. People get attached to like books and things because of sentimental value, and this isn't really any different. My inanimate object happened to be, you know, a set of birds that I photographed because I was constantly like pushing myself with this project, or with the birds over several projects. So, and it didn't always work, like, and other times it worked like amazingly. Like, I couldn't have asked for anything better, but It continues down there a little bit, so to get that in there. And this is all part of the same quill, so. And like these birds gave me that confidence that I wanted to be able to do the type of photography I enjoyed. I was able to just go, oh, okay, so like, you know, these tiny little things I found mummified in a random factory as I was exploring Sheffield, and then it was just like, boom, okay, cool. So yeah. And you end up getting attached to things like that. If you work with something for so long, I think it's only natural that I'm not looking forward to doing this area at all. I think that's why I'm avoiding it. I'm doing like every part apart from that one area. Just like, nope. And for this, I'm not going to be doing like any of this background. That's all staying. It's literally just the bird. So it's this area here and like the quills and the feathers. Still don't know what to do about the feathers. But we'll decide that when we get to it. I don't want to overcomplicate the project before it's even had a chance to like get off its feet kind of thing. Alright, so this, working with the blue, so this belongs to this one here. This is a different quill, so I'm going to add a touch of colour in there, and then and the shadow goes like right down here, so I'm just going to add little touches of colour. Because other things will be going over the top of it. I think that's where it ends. Yeah, because you've got loads of things intersecting it, so. Just want that a bit more colour on the areas that are lighter. A couple of blues in here. Haven't got any blue up here yet. So, for anyone wondering, this was the original image. Took out that sharpen layer. I'm going to have to add that back in a minute. After I've done this, I'll have to sharpen the whole thing again. So. mean, this, you can tell how big the image, this is the image at 100%. So, I think there's definitely scope for getting some really good sized images out of this. I will probably, because I'm going to be starting like a print shop of all the things that I'm creating, as well as like little artworks and things, but this will probably be in there, but it won't be available as a super high scale image like the rest of this series. The black and whites will be available in like massive sizes, the biggest size that like Redbubble will print. These will be available in slightly smaller prints, just because this work, because it's experimental, it's not going to be as finessed as the work that I'm used to. So I just wouldn't feel happy releasing it as a like a large scale print. Alright, I'm gonna go for another quick break. I'm happy with how this is looking. I do need to add some more pinks in there, so I'll get that set up and ready. I'm gonna go for another quick break, so everyone like go stretch your legs and have a drink, and you know, use the loo if you need to, and I will see you all in about 5 minutes. I'm back. Alright, I hope everyone had a good break. We are back, and I'm going to be colouring in some more Dead Bird. Just in case anyone wondered what on earth I was doing, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm colouring in Dead Bird. I was doing some pinks, which I highlighted before we went on break, so that was useful. Okay, so this one like bends, this one's all weird. It bends right down and goes right down here. Okay, so that's a bit unusual. It's an unusual bird quill. I've not seen them bend like that. Maybe I'm missing something. No, it definitely seems to be the same quill. It must have gotten damaged. But yeah, the purpose was to paint some pinks in up here, so I'm going to paint this one pink. This at the moment is just as I feel like it. I think these are 3 separate quills, so I'm going to do it this way. And then this one can be a gold one, and I don't know what that one's going to be yet. I'm going to do that gold one. I know I was going to do them like one colour at a time, but I just think this, I'm finding it easier to just switch between colours in one area. Okay. So I don't know if I want a blue up there, or whether I want another pink. Scroll around and have a look. It's come together, like slowly. Still not 100% sure on this part, but that's fine. That will come together. So there's a little blue one down here that I'm colouring in pink because I'm changing my mind constantly and I didn't remember to change my brush. So this one's gonna be like whoa. And that's all I'm doing. I'm literally painting on top in a way, just because that's what the mask layer is. And I can easily just take it off and just be like, boom, it's fine, nothing to see here. If I suddenly just want to like mix it up, but and this is another blue one underneath here. Colour that bit in. And colour it up here a little bit as well. So the blue's like the top layer. So it covers everything. Like the blue just covers everything. Blue is how I hide my sins, basically, with this. Like, I'm gonna have a couple that are just all the same colour bunched together. It's no different. They're just regular hair in that respect, so. Well, I've got these two. They're like bunched together, and that's fine. And then I'm gonna just put a little pink one in between them, I think. To actually highlight the pink that I want. So there. And this kind of goes down here, so this fades into that. I'm gonna put a gold one here. Not sure where that goes, but so that one, it crosses over that one. And one of them goes right in here. Yeah, that's my blue one. Okay, because this is not background, it's quill. So what I mean by you may just have to like paint little bits in, use imagination. Shade that bit in there, and I want a little bit of pink from this one just to come in. Yeah, it's definitely getting there. Might be a little bit slower than we anticipated, but it's definitely getting there. So it's going to be a pink. I'm just going to go up here. I don't know where, I think it just kind of, I don't know if that's part of the quill. It's part of a quill, but I don't think it's that quill. I'm going to add the pink up there quickly. Like that would be this quill. This bit here is a pink quill. So this is just going to be really subtle, this one. I'm going to really intensify this bit. Shade it in. I'll just draw a little bit of pink in there. Like I don't want those too like drastically obvious. We need to add some more blue though. Just to intersect them. And then I can make it obvious that that blue does go over the top of those two. Might change this one to gold. I'm not overly happy with that. Yeah, this one I'm going to change to gold, so I'm just going to get rid of... I can clear this up a little bit, this one. I want that thinner. I just want to make it more obvious. There we go. So let's go into the gold. Change back. And 4. Boom. Okay. So yeah, I want this to be gold. So the gold's gonna like start here. Because that's where the bottom of the quill is. And just fill it in. We're not gonna make it super obvious. I can go up a little bit further just because the blue does kind of hide it a little bit. It's a large area. Not entirely sure. I'm still not happy with it. I'm gonna take it out. Like, totally take it out. I'm just not happy with that. So again, creative license here. I'm gonna cut it down just to make it a bit thinner. See how that looks. Nope, not happy. Get rid of that. I'll do it from there. That bit will be blue, I imagine. I imagine I'll do that bit blue. I'll take out that pink bit as well. I'm not happy with how that goes. I need to intensify that yellow though. Not like 100% intensify, but intensify it. Very lightly then. The reason I'm doing this, I will go through and delete bits. So it just gives me that. That's a bit better. I can go through and delete that. The yellow that's under the other colours. Real quick. Like that. This helps tidy it up. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so it's quite an intense one, but because it's so far back in the bird, it's not so bad. Yeah, this quill and this gold one. So I can go in and pump the colours up on all of these at a later date. It's not essential to get them perfect right now, just because it's still a work in progress. It's a whip, people. It's a whip. Like, sometimes these scores don't even go anywhere, so... Okay, I think I want that one to be gold as well. Sorry guys, you can probably hear my phone going. I'm gonna get a pink one in underneath it. Just gonna pink. And that just goes right under it. No, I imagine it's gonna. It's definitely getting there. Slowly but surely, guys, but definitely getting some results. I'm gonna get some pink up in here as well. It's like this is gonna be pink. As well. Okay. Probably a bit dark at the moment, but I can go in and lighten that up later. But again, it's not super like in your face, boom, big pop arty kind of colour thing. It's just super subtle. Am I on pink? I'm gonna make this one pink. I'm gonna make it pink. I don't know why. I just want it to be pink. This is a different quill, so that is part of that quill. So I've got to sneak in here with a bit of colour. Not a lot, because it's dark. I don't want a lot of colour. And then, because this quill actually had an awful lot of feather on it still. Like, I remember this quill. And that goes right down here into this bit. And it like crosses over. So I've got to colour this bit in a little bit. Because I wasn't sure where I was going to go with that. I didn't know if it was going to be blue or pink. But now it's pink. I've got to really amp up the pink to make it obvious that it belongs to... And just add a little bit of colour on the darker bits. Not a lot. Not a lot right now. Just a little bit. Well, look, I'll have some ones underneath that are going to be super light pinks. And again, it's just... This is like the weirdest dot to dot in the world. And this one. I'm going to do that one. I love this tune. Ooh, so I'm going to do this one or this one. This one stops here, this one kind of goes on, so I'm going to do both blue actually. They're like interconnected. If you can hear my stomach rumbling, I do apologise. It's like really hungry. I normally have a pretty set schedule, so streaming today has kind of thrown me off. Yeah, that just goes across all of these. And I'll probably colour into this a little bit. So just want to add touches and hints of colour. Touches and hints. And again, it's on top, so I really want to make that colour pop out. Okay. Colour this one quickly. one of the reasons I'm doing this so sporadically is I don't want too many of the same colour in one place. So I'm just being a bit sporadic with it. Oh no, this one goes into a heavy feather. Ooh, it's gonna be hard. Like, again, with the feathers, I don't want too much colour on them. I don't want them to overpower everything else, which is really hard. Because this feather has quite a lot of room on it. I mean, this might be a smudge job. For now, I'm going to keep it at that, I think. These, I think, are quills underneath, these little bits here. Yeah, they're quills underneath, so the feather stops about here, so I'm just gonna do some upward flicks. Just to, so I know where it is. I know where the feather is then. And we get a highlight in there as well. And the ones on top, you just want to make them pop. They're not as shadowed, so you just want, ooh, that's a bit too much. You just want to not go like and colour the whole thing in, because that would be stupid. But you can see the colour intensity between that and, say, like one of these super light ones. And that's just layering with the opacity. Time for some pinks. I'm gonna make this one pink, make this stand out. So that one starts in here. I want to add a little hint of shadow, of colour even, of shadow. What am I even on? Yeah, it's just a little hint of colour. It does spread down a little further over the top of this, so. And then these will all just be cleaned up a little bit later on once we got our base down. No different to digital painting in that respect. You want to get your base colours down before you start adding effects and things. So, I suppose I better colour this one in. I don't want to colour this one in, it's so big. That's not so bad actually. It was coming out like so much brighter earlier and it was just like, oh, opacity 10 was way too high for it. I can make this one blue. Again, this is just, I'm having to go with where logically, I feel the quill would go. So this one in here is going to be pink underneath. I'm going to have little hints of gold. This one's going to be pink. And then that pink one's going to follow down and go under. Because I think logically that's where it would go. And that's what it all comes down to. You've just got to try and work out logically. Like, this is a really long quill. Actually, I didn't realise that. And like, it'll go under some things and on top of others. And it is all just working out. Okay, so where would that quill go? And I can go to put a gold highlight in there as well. So that one's going to just be this touch of gold. Because all this is just, it's a mass jumble of quills. So they're all just going to keep going over each other. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So yeah, I mean that's starting to finally come together, this area. I do need a little bit more drastic on the colour, I think. And like, I feel like gold would like peek through on some little bits down here. Perhaps not that much, but I can go back and change it. It's not an issue. Again, I'm just gonna give this one a little gold treatment. Now, I think that would be that.
Swear it's been 700 degrees in here since you came in. I could swear that this room has been running out of air, and now it's starting to spin. You make me feel kind of bad, kind of good, kind of everything, yet it doesn't feel like it should. You make me feel kind of wrong, kind of right, kind of anything, and I would change it if I could.
I can make this one on top a bit more intense and then have a lighter one just underneath. Make sure there's a gap. There we go. Yeah. Hello guys. Let's yawn at you. So rude. So rude. I'm not purposefully kind of alternating the colours. I'm just going with what works, and that just happens to be working for this image right now. I'm going to get some little hints of gold in here, so we've got some idea where it comes from. I want this one to be gold. Like sometimes a quill will just jump out at me and I'll just be like, I want that colour. That's all it is. You gotta go with your gut. At the end of the day, that's what makes the best decisions. No, I want that. Yeah, no, I want that pink. Again, super light. And just layer that colour in. And that's going to go down to this. So if I lay it up from the feather, it'll be a bit easier to get that shape in there. And then this is going to be a blue. So like this blue seems to go under the gold, so it goes under here and around here. Okay. So for anyone curious, this is how this image started off. Upside down, full of like debris and horribleness, and this is what we're doing to it now. So we sharpened it up, we've taken all the little kind of detritus and stuff off the film, altered where we want our tonal aspects, and now I am just layering colour onto it. I'm literally painting colour onto the bird. I want there to be a real like highlight here. It's gonna be a separate quill to the others, so just a little. I don't know what to do about the feet yet. That hasn't come up. I haven't thought about that yet. I really should probably think about it, but you know, it's not essential right now. I can go and do the feet after I've done all the quills. I'll layer that up like that. Gives it a nice flow. I'm really not looking forward to this bit. It's so hard when you're that close up to tell what's like the sawdust and what's the bird. It's so hard. But is what it is. Is what it is. I don't know what colour on that one yet. I'm gonna add some more colour to these. These are, they're not so much quills, they're like the bits of skin, I suppose. It's like a really fine quill base. Like they're just tiny little thick quills, rather than the big long fine ones that we've got back here. Again, it's just going to be the tiniest bit of colour on these because they're so highlighted already. I don't want too much colour. I'm like trying to continue. If there's any areas that I feel look. Oh, okay, I missed some there. Wow, okay. So these actually continue down. These continue down and there's some feather here. I hadn't spotted that, that's what I mean. Like when you're that close up, you just don't spot little things like that. But there's literally like 2 feathers that layer straight on top of one another right here, and I hadn't spotted it. There we go. So I really just need to get that. And I just want it really light again. I don't want it conflicting with the bit that's underneath. And there's little bits of feather all up it. I didn't even notice that. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. I need a little bit more colour, but like I don't want to interfere with this one or with this. Let's do some more colour, mind you. But I do want to just make sure it stands out. Just add some depth to it. So that means this would also be blue, but that conflicts with that, so I'm going to darken that down. Okay, so that's, yeah, no, that's good. That's what we want. I'm gonna put little gold highlights in between these, just to, and I'm just talking tiny, like super tiny gold highlights, just because I want it to just not stay looking pure black and white. And it just gives it a tonal aspect to the image that you want to kind of focus on. Oh, my phone's going crazy today. So like, I want this bottom one to be blue, but I want it to be a really light blue. So I'm gonna have it blue here. Yeah, I'm gonna have it blue from here, and then this is gonna be pink. So adding that, like, wish I wouldn't do that. And that divide, but manually adding that divide, and then it's just going to be super light. I don't want it like overpowering to this one here. So like this is under the bird as well, so we don't want it just being like, whoa, what's that doing there? And I'll fill in some little bits of pink in between, I imagine, but super light. Like I'll knock the opacity right down on the pink to like 1%, just so you've got that hint of a colour change, but you're not actually physically like layering loads of colour in. So if I do that now, oh, I might do it with gold actually. Let's get it down to a 1, and I'm just gonna, no, that's fine to this brush, and like just super small amounts of gold, because I want that gold to peek through, like the gold's in the shadows. And you don't even realise. Ooh, don't know that. Oh. Yeah. I might take it out, but that's an option that I have. I can do that at a later date. I can take it out, so. I might take it out actually, it's lightened it too much. I might add a dark tone to that, just to highlight the... Oh, I keep forgetting I've taken my dodge and burn layer off. Oh, that makes it pop so much more. Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, I might keep it out in that case, so I'm just gonna up my opacity to 50. And take those lines out that I just put in. I'll probably keep them up near the body, I'll just take them out between the coils. I'm not doing it on 100% because if I can keep some of that little tonal aspect but also get the depth of colour, that would be beautiful, that's all I want. Just trying to keep that depth of colour. Like, I don't mind it so much up here, I will take it down a notch, but not by much. There we go. You just get those little hints of colour. Cool. Oh, does that gold go round? Ooh. Ooh, she says. Let's work on 3. I'm not sure how I feel about this yet. I want one of these long ones with a feather to have some gold. Just don't know which one yet. And I don't know what colour to make that skin because that is skin, that's not quill or feather. Trying to work out what this one belongs to this, I think. And then it's got some layered over the top, so I might make that my gold one. Again, I'm just doing this super light with the gold because the gold's really has the potential to be overpowering in comparison to the blue and the pink. And you don't want that, you just want subtle colour, like super subtle colour. I'll zoom in a bit. Just easier to get those brush strokes in if I'm zoomed in. And then there'll be colours that go over the top. So for example, this one, I think that's that, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to leave it for now. We'll see where. This one is going to be there, so this needs to go over the top. Make sure I was using the right bit then. Photoshop's like hated me so much today that I'm just really paranoid I keep using the wrong tool. And it's on this side of this as well. So again, I'll probably come in with that blue again in a second just to make sure there's that distinguished line with this. So make it stand out. And I will go over this with the blur tool just to soften everything down when it comes to the colour. Like I'll go over the whole thing with the blur tool. Okay, so we've got that one in. Is that a pink one? Like, is that... I'm sure that belongs to that. And then I'll have the blue one there. Yeah, so I'm going to do this pink as well. Apart from I'm on blue. So that didn't work, did it? There we go. Pink. The reason I'm working on such a low opacity is because it's so much easier to build up colour this way. Otherwise you run the potential of just layering way too much colour into your image straight off the bat, and then it's so much harder to just take that colour away. I think that's the same in painting. I don't know, I'm not a particularly skilled painter. I mean, we had to learn a little bit of colour theory and things, like opposite scales of the colour wheel and things, but it was never something that kind of stuck in my head. So, right, now I'm going to put my blues in that area. Right, so this one's a blue. There is one here that I might make just gold, like this one here, but I'll deal with that in a second. And because there's not a lot of highlights on this, I don't have to worry about it too much. I can just gonna layer the quill over that gold, and it doesn't look so bad. Oh, I think it's behind it though, so I'll have to take that out because I think this is meant to be blue. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. Let's pop my opacity and just take out that whole blue section. There we go. That song ends very abruptly. Right, so I'm going to add the gold in here. I think this actually continues. And again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but, you know, at the end of the day, this isn't an exact science, so it's all about what I think looks right. It's going to look so much better when it's sharpened as well, when I've got that sharpened layer in. Because I think I can up the HD aspect as well. I don't think I did it at 100%, so I can actually increase that. Yeah.
If you ever need a helper, you should know that I'll be there day and night. Nobody else can love you better.
Okay.
I'm here just to treat you right. You're the reason I'm alive.
Alright, I do want to add a bit more gold to this, so I think it goes down here. It gives it a bit more shape. So this here, this is going to be blue. is going to be a real thin blue line because that will make the gold, the kind of yellow, pop out, and that's what I want. And it's just a shorter quill. I have no idea what this colour's going to be. Maybe I can add a darker colour. Maybe that will make it pop more. I'm sorry, I really like the word pop today, so you're going to have to deal with me talking about it a lot. I'm going to colour this in here. So this goes under here, it's going to be a dark colour there, and it's going to come out on top here. Oh, wait, so that's actually part of the blue. Okay. I'm going to put pink in there. Just all about working with the colours you got.
I've seen you patrol these empty thoughts before, but I'm fixed now on the cure. I'm holding on to the last rock on the mountain top, and I'm begging for your love.
I can't believe how much this is coming together. I mean, I'm not even halfway, but after 3.5 hours. I suppose knock off half an hour for breaks and technical issues after 3 hours, but still, it's nice to see it coming together. Ah, right, this is actually, it's not the individual quills. This still had like a thin layer of skin over it, which is where the issue comes in. I may have to add another layer of tone. But saying that, I haven't got my general tonal layer over this anyway, which I have in this one, because this tonal layer is over the whole thing. So, and I don't know actually, does that work? I'm gonna test something real quick because I don't know how this sits. Technically, if it goes there, I should have that. I'm just zoom in to see it, I think. I should have that sharpen aspect. Yeah. Okay, cool. So me dragging that over does work. That's good to know. That makes it. Again, it's not so much like when you're zoomed out. When you're zoomed in, you can just see it pops slightly. Like everything just becomes so much clearer. Yeah. So I'm gonna quickly blend this in. I'm gonna use my blur tool and just slightly larger blur tool. So I'm pretty zoomed in. Okay. And just blend that all in. No, you're not blending, you're more just taking strips out. I was in the sharper way, that's why. I just wonder why that wasn't working. Alright, so I'm gonna blur this all. I mean, I can probably add some more. So I'm gonna be really rough, really general with this. And just add the blur tool in over the entire bird for each of the layers, just to help it like settle in and even out the tones. And it does lighten the tones ever so slightly as well. So it just makes it feel that bit more natural. Let's catch up. Okay, so I'm going to do it the same to the pinks. And it's not something that you might even notice. It's probably going to be one of those things that you just go, why is she even doing that? It's not doing anything. And the thing is, it's doing it on such a minute scale that you're not going to notice it, like, straight up. And the only way I could do it would probably be to, like, duplicate a layer. I don't know if that's going to work. Duplicate layer. Let's see. Okay, so I will blend this layer. Like, I'll totally blur this layer out. And it is going to be such a minute difference. Right, I'll zoom in. That layer's just intensified the colour, so it's not a good example. So it's layering colour upon colour. It is a good way to just bump up the colours though. But I don't want the colour that bright, so I'm going to leave it out. Oh, when it catches up. There we go. I mean, I will still have to go in and just, like with this bit. I'm gonna get rid of that copy. I really need to rename those files as well. That's terrible. So I'm gonna use like the smudge tool. Not on that bit. That would be stupid. I'm gonna use smudge tool on this bit. Just to even out that layering. Like, this is where the smudge tool kind of really comes into its own on the feathers. I don't know why I'm using the mouse. Apparently the mouse wants to work better. I'm going to have to look and see if there's any new drivers for the Wacom, because it's really causing issues today. And again, I wouldn't normally use it on 100%, but it's working pretty nicely. Okay. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there for today, because all I'm seeing is 3 colours right now whenever I look at my other screen, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to quickly save it. Oops, anyway. Yeah, I'm going to go back to big head mode. Boom. Hey guys. Big head mode here. While I save that. So that's saving. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there slowly. It was never going to be a fast process for this, so I don't know what to expect. Like I said, it's totally experimental. I haven't really done this on any of my bird images before, and it feels very weird because I know these images really well. I've worked on them a lot over the years in various forms, so it feels very bizarre to be doing this and just being like, I'm just gonna add a shitload of really cute colour to my image. So yeah, yeah, bit weird. But I think we're done for today. It's not bad for a one-off stream. It's almost 3. I'm absolutely starving, and I'm pretty sure people are up in the house now, so I should probably go at least pretend to be sociable. And I also want to close OBS because Paint or Photoshop's having a real issue saving my image. So just to try and make sure that that gets along, I'm gonna head off. So thank you for joining me. If you want to know when I go live, hit the follow button. It will tell you. You can have notifications, and it'll be like buzz buzz and all cool and stuff. Yeah, thanks for joining and hanging out with me, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye guys!